I want to quickly preface this video by saying I'm not a news channel. I'll explain more why I felt compelled to make it at the end. Cygames announced the opening of their new AI studio. Many of you have heard it, but the least of you have understood their ramifications and actual intent behind this. I'm here to set the stage clear. So in the most explicit words possible, this is generative AI, used for image generation and animation. If you're wondering how this was found out, here's their job application listings with the open occupations. Generative AI is front and center. The other ones aren't as striking, but I just want to make it clear that from what I'm seeing, this isn't going to affect the localizers. So if you're one of the dweebs who was happy about it for that reason, you should be informed what we learned in anime preschool. Replacing Merry Christmas with Happy Holidays was not the work of the translators. It's absolutely something enforced by the higher-ups. So you're blaming the wrong people. And if you think AI wouldn't do that, you have a harsh reality to endure. So, sit down in shame, because we're all losers tonight. This language model engineering is likely to be used for an AI chatbot on their services more than anything. Worse yet if it gets involved in their games. Now, what does this mean for Umamusume? I'm sticking to my lane here because I'm not quite big into Grand Blue or any of their other games. Only other one was Regalia Lost, and we know how that went. Too soon. Taking a look at the image generation led in diffusion listings, here I can assume that AI will be involved in marketing and many of the supplemental material. This is purely speculation on my part, but take a look at this video that Cygames hosted on Twitter. A live 2D animation with voice acting. Something like this would have been done with AI should this studio come to fruition. Those of you who are fans of Hololive have seen this before, and know the disaster that comes with something like this. What you're seeing on screen was a teaser for a trading card game that got so much backlash, the video was taken down. You may know that Umamusume has a huge amount of videos on the official channel, which get made and posted regularly. Such material is ripe to be turned into AI slop, and if it finds success, it's an easy slippery slope to start using it in their games and shows. People who keep denying this stuff happening need to only take a look at the animes coming out with official AI dubs. This AI onslaught will never end as long as people stay bent backwards and take it. If you think these companies have any shred of dignity or hold respect towards you, the consumer, I want you to know that Cygames would watch you die a horrible death if it means they can squeeze out a few cents by the end of the fiscal year. If you want to push back, I've provided a link below to their feedback page in the description. Click on it and tell them you will not support their products if AI is used. For me, it was the passion and genuine love that drew me into Umamusume. I wouldn't be able to make several hour-long trivia breakdowns if there wasn't that amount of trivia and detail to begin with. And I will absolutely not stand around to wait and see how it turns out. Anybody saying that it might not even touch Umamusume does not understand that nipping the bud before it blooms is the best course of action. And if you think this is okay, or support generative AI in any way, you can unsubscribe, drop a dislike, and back off. The reason I made this video is because I've seen too many people take a neutral or positive stance towards this act, hoping that we cannot know how it's gonna be until we see it. Buddy, we did see it, again and again and again. Why do you think it's gonna turn out well this time? Fool me once. There's too much misinformation going around, usually from people trying to cope or others who are trying to convince everyone else that Gen AI can actually improve anything going forward. As someone who is an artist, and is in fact working with other artists to make original animations for this channel, I take an absolute stance against generative AI and any company that uses it. This is not art, it is not a neutral tool, it is not a mixed bag, and it is absolutely not the way of the future. And I felt it my responsibility to let others know that we should not stand around and let some clanker ruin something we enjoy. I usually make community posts about this kind of stuff and move on, never videos. I never want to milk Umamusume or any news that come out, and I don't want to set the standard that this is something normal for me. I felt compelled because I found out that not too many channels in the Umamusume community covered this topic. There were many in Grand Blue, but few and far between for Uma. I suspect it's one of three reasons. 1. They use AI themselves and they support it. 2. They're too afraid to speak out against Cygames. 3. Or they simply think it didn't matter to be covered. For the few that did cover it, it was an even fewer number that took any stance for or against it, or at the very least told their audience that they can send feedback to Cygames directly. And once again, I saw much misinformation on what this AI studio could actually be used for, and I'm telling you none of it will be to our benefit. It can only go downhill from here. So stand with me, and let's make some noise and tell Cygames what we think. Now, as for what this means for my channel, I explained in my initial post that I made a promise to cover the spin-offs and Cinderella Grey in my breakdown series. Generative AI was not used for those, so I see no reason to go back down on that anytime soon. Only time will tell what comes after. Sorry for the long rant, and thank you for sticking around. Thank you very much.